really a privilege and an expression of decades of feeling and love and friendship, the opportunity to participate in this ceremony. I'm just finishing a book which has been more than a decade project, and in it I claim that the two main teachings of the Jewish religion, the two main teachings for the day are, one is that we as a people are the people of Brit, of a covenant, of a partnership between God and humanity, between God and the Jewish people, a covenant which is really a covenant of Tikkun Olam. That is to say, it's a commitment and an ongoing project to repair the world. To repair the world, to raise it to the level of what our Torah dreams of, what God dreams of, which is a creation that is a Gan Eden, really a paradise. And what's the definition of a paradise? It's full of life, especially human life, which is the highest, most developed form of life, what the Torah calls Tselem Elokim. Human beings are in the image of God, a most godlike form of life. So the world is full of such life, but the world is so repaired that it properly treats all forms of life, and certainly human life, with the respect that they're entitled to, with the dignity, with equality, with justice, with compassion and concern and love. And our task as partners of God is to repair and create the present world, which falls short of this standard, and to raise it to that level. The second most important teaching, I think, it also tries to give us, but until we get to that messianic stage of the whole world of justice and a whole world of peace and a whole world of concern and healing and health, how do we live? And the answer there is in Moshe's words in the Torah, Uvacharta v'chaim. In the meantime, in the life that we live at this moment, we have to choose life. In every action, in our behavior, in our life behavior, in our eating, in our speaking, in our working, in everything we do, we ought to choose life. That's what the Torah's instruction is, which means we can't always live at the highest level we'd like to, but the most life possible, and the least concession or compromise with dignity and justice and evil. That is the commitment that we do in every moment, to embrace life, and that means not just heroic life, but every aspect of everyday life. Now, why do I say this? Because in a way I feel this moment of dedication exactly reflects the JESER family and Michael Al-Shom's values in life. You should know that his many wonderful virtues, which we've heard a little bit of today, reflect a family tradition. He walked in the footsteps of his parents. And the JESER family, which indeed at its heart had those two commitments and those two dimensions. One is to make a better world, in Paul's case, through a Jewish professional who built community, who built Klal, a national organization to strengthen and create leadership and Jewish commitment in the national leadership, and through his decades of work for Shaare Zedek, a hospital of life that gives life, that saves life, to give it the strength and capacity to serve the whole Jewish people and to connect Israel and the Jewish people throughout the world. And of course, Faye, who brings the dimension of beauty, not just her own, but music and art and culture that enriched lives, and who became a Jewish educator to share the neshama and the joy and the beauty of music to deepen the Jewish commitment. So it started with the family and the parents, and again, Faye and Michael chose life. I've often thought of that. I'll give a simple example, you take it for granted almost. They had 3 sons. Michael is one of 3 siblings. And you know, the average Jewish family in America, this is the crisis of American Jewry. The average Jewish family is somewhere about between 1.1 and 1.5 children. In other words, it's negative population growth. But they chose 3, which is to say, the growth, the life, the future, the growth and expansion of the Jewish people. And of course, they're 3 remarkable sons. Whether it's Mark, who's a doctor who saves lives and enriches lives, or whether it's Dave, who is a kind of a writer, humorist, comedian, maybe, I don't know, television creator, who again adds joy, entertainment, satire to life. It's a very important way of embracing life. And of course, last but not least, Michael Oliver Shalom, who chose life, in this case, by walking in the footsteps of his father and becoming a Jewish professional. And one could watch it. It started very young. As a teenager, you heard, as a teenager, coming to Israel, giving a year of service. And again, we're in the negative. Not the most easy or central or popular or upfront, but it's a place that needed attention and needed that kind of personal service. And the joy and the embrace of life that he brought to everything that he did. And the connection between Israel and America, which he started then, which in fact he renewed when he became a professional head of the San Diego Federation, and makes that partnership and that commitment between cities as another way of showing how the continuing link that starts with friendship and love and becomes institutional and human and community connection one to the other. And so, in his parents' footsteps, he chose life. One could say it in many different ways. This decision to go to HUC and become LA and become a Jewish professional. Or again, what he brought to his work. I think that he started as executive director of USA Hillel, went on to such as the Jewish World Watch. Again, when you say, what do these positions have in common? The director of fundraising for LA, and then of course the president and CEO of San Diego. What do they have in common? That he brought vitality, new strength, new success, new achievement, that suddenly became not only a place that was bustling and full of life, but that people wanted to come because they were close and warm and because they felt the spirit that embraced life and they wanted to make it part of enriching their personal life. So that quality of choosing life, which he expressed again in such a beautiful way in marrying Laura and having, I'm used to calling out Eleanor, but I'll say Michelle. It's a very beautiful Israeli name. As an example again of choosing life. And then when he was stricken with esophageal cancer, instead of collapsing or giving up, he fought because he chose life. He took the best medicine. In fact, maybe beat it, or at least rolled it back for a while. And then when it came back, and could not be stopped with medicine and run out of miracles, he chose life again. It's the thing also, I think over time he's going to move. He said not to waste time with useless medical treatment that wouldn't really make a difference in the end, but to spend those last weeks or months with his family, celebrating life, embracing life, embracing his wife and his daughter and his extended family. And it's no accident that the people of Portland or San Diego love him and continue in his memory. It says in Shir HaShirim, it's one of the central Jewish passages, Aza kamavet ava. The truth is that love is as fierce, is as strong as death. That is the most terrifying and most devastating reality. And when it takes someone we love at such a young age, it's devastating. But the Jewish Rishon says that's not so. It's not the final word of death. Love is stronger than death. You know why? Because after the person dies, the love continues. And the spirit and the life and the inspiration and the direction continues. And so the family has again chosen life in this dedication and in this ceremony and in this place in YITZ. What they have said is that we don't give the last word to life, but we raise a project to increase life, to increase cure of cancer, to increase the treatment of, like, gives people a chance to live and survive cancer. And I thought as many times too, because it haunts all of us, this question, to lose the most precious and loved thing. It should be the end, but it's not the end. It is not the end if we choose to be faithful to the love, and that's That's the love that continues and that inspires the San Diego mission, that inspires the people who are here, that inspires the. So here at Shaare Zedek, a hospital dedicated to life for more than 100 years, to connect the Jewish people and Israel, to connect all of us to life. I want to speak personal testimony. I had lymphoma and was treated here in Shaare Zedek, and thanks to the doctor's miracle, I was put in remission. So again, I'm not just speaking theory. This is a place that really saves lives and enriches lives, that gives people strength in life. And so there could be no more appropriate place to dedicate such an ongoing strength of life for his memory. So it's a privilege to share the love, to join in that love that the family radiates and gives to all those who accept and share their friendship and their life and their community. And I hope that this love will continue to inspire life and to give, strengthen the life of Israel, the country whose growth and development is the Jewish responsive life to the most terrible death experience of all time, and yet we responded not by giving them, by giving life. So may his memory not only be a blessing, but a continual source of motivation, strength, and inspiration to live life more deeply and more completely. Yehezkel Rabbi.